Myoho Renge Kyo. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Hi, how you doing? Hope you're in good health and secure. Refuge. In most modern parlance, refuge is usually a reference to a secure place, even a hiding place, or just that it's secure, much as a cave for a cave dweller or a home for we more modern people, or maybe for many people, it's a shelter, a storm shelter. That's a refuge, right? In some vernaculars, refuge is a holy place, a place of worship, or the castle, the kingdom. You know, there will be safe. In the context of Buddhist translations, and this is mostly earlier Buddhist teachings, the use of the word refuge is used quite a lot in statements like, I take refuge in the law or the Buddha or so on and so forth. And so I include it in this book so that we can review its meanings and more specifically how we should view that word or the usage of that word in the, I always say scholarship, but in the academia or the translations and the interpretations of Buddhist teachings. So refuge or taking refuge. In modern Mahayana Lotus Sutra Buddhism, the practice and meaning of taking refuge is defined as the dedication to the three great secrets or precepts of Buddhism: the Dharma, Buddhaness, and our community of sentient minds, the Sangha. With the potential for enlightenment, historically, the term Sangha was reserved for those who would dedicate their lives to the study and development of the practice in their lives, what we used to think of as monks, right? Today, in the modern world, as you know, monk to us is basically a dedicated student, period. Since this is the latter age of the law and the time of the bodhisattvas of the earth, you and I, to populate the planet, it may be more useful to consider all sentient beings, the original intent of Buddhist propagation, by the way, to be within the Sangha as either ignorant, ichantika, or student. In other words, we can look at the population of the planet Earth as the Sangha if we include those who are ignorant of Buddhist teachings. They're just an ignorant component of the Sangha. Ichantika, those who know about the practice but haven't really endeavored with any resolve or confidence to practice, and therefore have made up their minds somehow against the development of their enlightenment. They just don't think it as valuable, possible, whatever, and they may actually work against us. Or students, people actually engaged in training themselves in the confidence and resolve of instantiating their Buddha mind. Obviously, we can break that up into percentages, and that way when we talk about world peace or Kozen Rufu or whatever term you want to put to it, the end goal of Buddhism to have everyone in the Sangha at very least not be an obstacle toward their own enlightenment is going to take some effort. Moving on with this entry into our book here, Buddhism Reference. Once again, we can understand Buddhist terms in the attitudes and intent of our mind in all of its states and expressions, right? It is ultimately our regular and committed practice that keeps us aware and firmly centered on our Buddha awareness from moment to moment. The Cambridge Dictionary takes the word refuge and gives it 4 distinct usages. A place, remember what I said, that gives protection or shelter from danger, trouble, unhappiness, etc. Of course, as Buddhists, being non-material, understanding that everything is energy, we can read that as a shelter from danger, trouble, unhappiness as a mental attitude and intent. But of course, that's not how they mean it, right? These people are taking refuge from persecution. That's another way of looking at it, the escaping harm. Third, the climbers slept in the mountain refuge, right, where they felt they could be safe. Again, these easily can describe mental attitudes and intent. But in the vernacular of samsara, everything is materialistic, right? And fourth, she had fled from her violent husband to a woman's refuge. Again, this idea of protection and location, place. And that's it. So Cambridge doesn't even allow for the idea that a refuge is a mental place. As Buddhists, that's all we're about, is the science of the mind, yes? From studybuddhism.com, a site that's supposed to be dedicated to the study of Buddhism, yes? In Buddhism, refuge is about putting a meaningful direction into our lives. Okay, that's pretty abstract. That direction is to work on ourselves to overcome all our shortcomings, or karmic repercussions, as I would say, and realize all our potentials to be of best help to ourselves and to everyone. Buddhist refuge acts as a shelter from more than just temporary boredom, hunger, or stress. It's not about changing anything externally. We don't need to wear any special clothes or change our hairstyles. Refuge in Buddhism is about changing our state of mind. This means deepening our understanding of what gives life purpose and what will bring us happiness now and in the future. In short, Buddhist refuge protects us from suffering, the first noble truth, or dukkha, parentheses, mind. It's much closer to what we would say is, yeah, that's a fairly accurate description of refuge. But still, this clinging of purpose and future, that's craving. So that's not quite right? The Encyclopedia of Buddhism says refuge is 2 things. Refuge conveys the meaning of a place of refuge, a shelter or haven. It indicates a safe place to be or a safe situation. Okay, a literal meaning. I mean, it is an English word, and it has that connotation. And for most people, that's all they know of the word. Second, in Buddhism, finally, the term refuge is used in the context of taking refuge or going for refuge in the 3 jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. A traditional analogy states that one takes refuge in the 3 jewels in a similar way that one takes refuge under a shelter during the rain. The refuge conveys a sense of protection against obstacles on the spiritual path. See, I worry about the duality of that sentence. It still sounds like a material objectification, that somehow refuge is something other than ourselves that protects us. But the only thing that protects us is our own mind, our attitude and intent. That's protection. Moving on. Peter Harvey writes, "The notion of a refuge here is not that of a place to hide, but of something the thought of which purifies, uplifts, and strengthens the heart." Much more on target, isn't it? Orientation towards these three guides to a better way of living is experienced as a joyful haven of calm, a firm island amidst a flood, in contrast to the troubles of life. The refuges remind the Buddhist of calm, wise, spiritual people and states of mind, and so help engender these states. The value of the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha is denoted by the fact that they are also known as the Triratana, or Sanskrit Triratna, or three jewels, spiritual treasures of supreme worth. And so, to further secularize and make it obvious, it's attitude and intent. How you think, what you think, how you direct your thoughts, your energy. Again, this is all a dissection of the 3,000 realms, is it not? How do we influence our thinking, and how is our thinking influenced? Attitude, intent, constantly. This is what Buddhism is at the root about: harnessing, taking control of, mastering, right? Be the master of your mind, not the other way around. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. I hope that was helpful. I hope you stay healthy so you can keep your practice strong. Take your time and savor it. Don't rush through it. What's the point? The point is to experience it. Sense of purpose? The purpose for your sentience, for your being able to witness the process of the engine of life, is your purpose. And to help others to see the same. That goes hand in hand. They're not separate. They're the same thing. Bodhisattva, yeah? Hey. All right. A few words, and thank you again for listening, for participating, for your support. We can't do this without your support. I can't do this without your support. It means everything, and everyone in the Sangha appreciates that support. So I'll see you in the next one, okay? Bye for now. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. Hi, everyone. I hope you'll indulge me just a couple of moments here of your time to make a quick announcement. As you know, I've worked over decades and over the last decade building this channel with thousands of videos of lessons and insights and instruction, and I have a website to match it with lots of free information. There's free podcasts, there's the bookstore, there's the mandala store. The whole mission here is to support your practice and build your confidence daily for manifesting your maximum potential, yes? In that regard, I decided recently to demonetize my videos because, quite frankly, how can you pay attention and focus and be motivated to practice Buddhism when you're constantly being barraged by commercials? So, no more, right? Although it wasn't, because of the size of our Sangha and the way YouTube works now, it's not nearly as supportive as it used to be. So that's another reason why bother, right? But YouTube has come up with another way to help support, and I thought I would give it a try and see if it's not obtrusive, and see if you guys would participate or enjoy this avenue towards supporting the Sangha and all these resources. And that is a join button. And so you'll see that really soon. It'll pop up. And when you join, there's 4 different levels of joining, whatever. And, by simply being here, you're part of the Sangha. You don't have to pay a membership fee or any of that. This is just an option. And as a thank you for committing to a donation, a regular donation, I will send you a PDF copy of, depending on the level, 1, 2, 3, 5 books. And that could include a TIFF or a PDF high resolution of a Nichiren inscribed mandala, but also the liturgy, the Gango book, Buddhism Reference, my annotated Threefold Lotus Dharma Sutra book. They're all listed in the joint. So take a look, take a moment, click the button and see what's on offer. And if it works for you, we would be eternally grateful. We would be very grateful for the support to keep things going here. Okay? That's all I wanted to say. And thank you, as always, for your support, just being here, liking and subscribing. And if you're already buying ebooks and purchasing other books, you're part of the Sangha and you're supporting. So thank you for that, right? But look for that join button, right? Just check it out, see if it works for you. If I don't get much action on it, well, I'll discontinue it. But at least it's not interrupting every darn video, is it? So, so it's just another way for you to participate in keeping us afloat. Thanks again. Namo Myo Renge Kyo. Enjoy the video.